For those of you who may not know, the hijab is the traditional covering of the hair, head, and neck donned by Muslim women. For many, it is the rejection of capitalism and materialism. It is the refusal of Eurocentric beauty standards that sculpt our bodies and plague our minds. For others, it is simplicity and modesty, the symbol of equality and faith. For me, it is all of those things and the feeling that I tread a careful line between ensuring that no one around me is uncomfortable and that I give off the impression of free thought, a string pulled taut at the verge of breaking. I don't feel my own. I am thrown at the sight of stereotypes. I have lived my life trying to dispel the image of a caged and ignorant woman. The truth is that religion does not oppress my people, but narrow minds and false narratives do. Veiled women are often presented as a population in need of saving. Supposedly, the hijab restricts us from doing as we wish, becoming a flag of misogyny and ownership. Twisted minds think it a good idea to rid us of our very visible problem, their solemn burden to bear to eradicate all the Muslims. Trust me, we are not done a service when hijabs are ripped off of heads. It is a violation of our rights just as any other article of clothing. Your hopes of eroding my sense of purpose leave me wordless. How anyone is capable of such loathing and in the habit of opposing is a wonder. But I have never felt more liberated than when I am in hijab. No one can judge me for my appearance besides what I present to them. So condemn those who stem from a place of ignorance. Make inference to your conscience instead of supporting indifference. Vigilance is needed to root out ambivalence towards minorities. I was raised to fear the authorities. My priorities somehow always lied in defending my beliefs. Complete with intrusive stares and critiques, immersed in prejudice since childhood, my technique was avoidance. To my annoyance, at the age of 10, I didn't know the answer to so many questions. I vividly remember the suggestions from a teacher that fasting for the month of Ramadan was harmful to one's health. Myself, a child, was asked why such an act was mandatory when so many fainted. My religion artfully painted as cruel and tainted. Years later, I am enraged by my helplessness. I can now answer that it is an act of selflessness. The ill do not participate. Islam does not necessitate for them to do so. Years later, and I realized that she meant to lead me astray. As children are impressionable and often molded like clay, how do I convey that this is an ordinary occurrence? Whether it's being pulled over for that extra bit of screening or being cut off by the Border Patrol agent every time you try to speak. Untrustworthy and aggressive have been made synonymous to our identity, fundamentally the reason for demeaning treatment. I don't want to be the next victim in a history textbook. I don't want a eulogy written once we are over the fact. The impact of our actions is now. So long as I have your attention, I will tell you such. My people are not your iron to weld. I will not be compressed into an impression of what I used to be, nor will I tolerate my repressed words being taken advantage of. Your understanding of my identity is not fact, but an abstract notion of a casualty. But most of all, don't allow yourselves to be coerced by the media, for they're about as trustworthy as Wikipedia. Even news outlets report with preconceived biases, spreading viruses without a second thought. Distraught, I cannot change the world's opinions as just one girl. We need solidarity across ethnicities and cultures. We need to amplify the voices of minorities that have so patiently been waiting for the chance to be heard. So unfurl your questions and clarify your doubts about Muslims if necessary. Instead of spreading misconceptions, your perceptions of a person do matter. So sate your curiosity and get a shot on, even if it's about whether I shower with my scarf on.